So Ben Whittaker absolutely destroyed and obliterated Liam Cameron in the rematch. Make sure you check out my full fight review if you haven't already. I uploaded last night. But yeah, the first fight was very clearly the best thing to ever happen for Ben Whittaker. And if I'm being honest as well, from what I'm hearing in, post-fight interviews from Liam Cameron, as humble as he is and as nice of a guy as he is, I don't believe that he believed he would win this fight against Ben Whittaker. I think he knew he would lose the rematch. He knew this was coming in. I look back as well to before the fight, first of all, and Liam Cameron said on a TalkSport interview, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to do my best. He didn't say, oh, I'm going to absolutely destroy this guy. I'm going to win. And Simon Jordan even mentioned that as well. He said, I would have liked him to say, I'm going to win this fight instead of I'm going to go in there and do my best. And from Liam Cameron in the post-fight interviews last night, we heard Liam Cameron say, oh, I've won it live. I've made an absolute fortune from this fight. And, it was just a blessing having the crowd behind me. And, I can't be disappointed. And it's like, did Liam Cameron just go in there for the big paycheck, really? Or did he lose motivation thinking, look, I've made it now. Look at the amount of money that I've made from all this attention that we've got around this fight. And Liam Cameron just went in there thinking, this is going to be difficult anyway. Ben Whittaker's going to fix up, which he did. And Ben Whittaker looked really quick and very sharp and very on it last night. And it was a career-best performance from Ben Whittaker. And I predicted it would be a career-best performance from Ben Whittaker. And that's exactly what happened. People are still going to be saying about an early stoppage and all. And yes, it very arguably bloody was. But it was always going to end like that anyway. Liam Cameron was just walking to punches. And they weren't really intent behind Cameron at all going into that fight. I feel like before the fight, he looked really nervous when he was walking out as well. They had Johnny Nelson and the other woman pundit on Sky Sports. They were back there having Liam Cameron walking out, and he just looked really nervous before the fight. And I think Nelson mentioned something like it as well. He looked nervous, and you could tell, the nerves were really kicking in on Liam Cameron. And I think some real proper self-doubt was there. Whittaker was there bloody dancing to the ring. He was confident as hell. Him and Andy Lee had a plan, and they executed it very, very, very nicely last night, to be honest with you. But look, Ben Whittaker is classless. He doesn't have any class whatsoever. Goes over, starts screaming at Grant Smith in the corner after destroying their man in 2 rounds, trying to mock and humiliate them even more. I just don't think that's on whatsoever, but what can we do? Look, I think from Liam Cameron, it's disappointing. I mean, he did what he did in that first fight, really put it on Whittaker and gave him a big run for his money, and arguably should have actually been given the win. But, I mean, when you hear what Cameron was saying in the post-fight build-up, it's not post-fight build-up, just in the post-fight after everything had happened last night, he was just saying, I've made an absolute fortune. Look at what look at what we've done. It just doesn't really seem like a man who went in with a big intention to win. I don't think that was Liam Cameron's intentions. I don't think he went in there to win. I think he went in there for a big bag. And you can just, if you read between the lines, that is what he went in there to do. And I really like Liam Cameron, but this is just what I'm getting out of everything. And I feel like it's poor. It's kind of ripped the fans off in a way, in my opinion, because we wanted to see a big fight. Most of us wanted to see Ben Whittaker get knocked out. And, there were many people who believe Cameron would be the one to do it. I didn't, but I really was behind Cameron. And, from what we're just hearing, it seems like it's let us down a little bit, to be honest, if I'm being real. And he didn't go in there with full intention to win the fight. But either way, though, Ben Whittaker very clearly had a fantastic training camp. Him and Andy Lee is the perfect pairing. And it showed. I think Andy Lee's got Whittaker more disciplined in the ring, not outside the ring, as we could tell straight after the fight. But I think, it was a good disciplined performance from Ben Whittaker. He's, putting his shots together nicely, a good flow in his punches. Very fast, mixing up his shots nicely, good variety, very good behind the lead hand and the jab. Cameron landed like one good backhand while that was on, and Whittaker wasn't really fazed by it at all. And Whittaker was just able to keep doing what he was doing, staying on the outside, But I mean, it looked like Cameron wanted to do things on the inside, but when Whittaker got in and landed some decent body shots on the inside and got right back out, there just wasn't really lows coming back from Liam Cameron. I mean, it was just a quick payday, really, if we're being real. It's just a quick payday. But overall, for being real, as much as I don't really like Ben Whittaker, I don't think he seems like a good guy at all. I don't. But it is probably best for the sport that he won because, we're going to see big fight nights now. He is a big name. He gets attention with how he acts and, he's doing the right things. But even though he was upset that people have been booing him. And, I find it strange when he brings it all on himself. And when you go over to the opposite corner and start chatting a load of shit to them, of course you're going to get booed. And when you're trying to start some shenanigans, I don't know what the guy expects. And, Dave Colwell was completely right about him, what he was saying on the Sky broadcast. He needed to handle himself better. And I mean, Johnny Nelson was bloody defending him massively. Sky Sports are just up Ben Whittaker's arse. But, I mean, he's a big product for them at the end of the day, though. But, they need to be able to, speak some of the truth, though. And that seems like a lot of these pundits can't do, apart from Dave Colwell. He did a great job last night, to be honest. But, yeah, it was a good performance from Whittaker. It looked like he was going speed over power quite a lot as well. Just trying to want to land, get some good volume going. Then eventually, when he did find Liam Cameron open, when Cameron just walked into him, it was a massive shot that he landed, went in with full intent, and he was able to finish the fight off. But, yeah, I think I'm disappointed with how Cameron did approach the fight. I'm disappointed with, he's a great, humble guy, of course, as we know. But you can just tell by what he's saying. I think he knew that was going to happen. I think he knew that was going to happen. And I feel like he got carried away in the moment by, getting mogged in Nando's, as he was saying. He was just getting carried away with, everyone loving him and the spotlight being on him. I think Liam Cameron got massively carried away with that. And you can kind of tell that with what he's saying. People are going to disagree and that's fine. But I can just tell by what Liam Cameron was saying post-fight. And Ben Whittaker, you can tell he went back, fought things through after that first fight in Saudi, fought things through massively, got in touch with Andy Lee, and those two were bloody grinding for months and sorted things out, worked out things in his game, got a good game plan. Whittaker's good on the back foot and he's good on the front foot. And yeah, I think it was a good performance from Ben Whittaker. He did have his chin out there in that first round, and that is why Cameron did catch him with that big shot. But Whittaker was always very quick with his counters and kept his volume nice. So, yeah, he was just able to massively overwhelm Liam Cameron. And, I mean, whether it's an early stoppage or not, there just wasn't really any fight from Liam Cameron in there. And, yeah, I feel like it's weird that he's not overly disappointed with the loss. And I don't know whether he's got the hunger to even want to continue boxing now. I do think there has got to be loads of questions around Liam Cameron. And again, I really do like Liam Cameron, but I think there's got to be a lot of questions. But yeah, good performance from Ben Whittaker. Big fights for him from now on. And, it was the best thing to happen to him that first fight because, the attention it got, he managed to get a main event. And he was able to get more attention on his name than ever. And now after going on and battering Cameron in 2 rounds, he's got even bloody more attention on his name. And yeah, it was 100% the best thing to ever happen to Ben Whittaker. And putting on a performance like that as well, it's very good stuff from him. But yeah, let's wait and see what we have next for him. Anyway, thanks for watching.